It's just weird, man. It's incomprehensible. It's indecipherable. Let's watch Asmongold, my plans moving forward.
Hey guys, I wanted to talk to you all about what my reason was for getting suspended on Twitch and also what my plans are going forward. I'm going to try and structure this video into two parts, where the first part is going to be me talking about the Twitch suspension, second part is going to be talking about myself. And the first thing I want to start off with is something that I know it might sound a little bit insincere because of how ridiculous this is, but I really mean it, and if you listen to the whole video, I hope you can see why. Everybody who's come and spoken out and talked to me and said stuff about me, you know, aside from the, oh, you should kill yourself or something like that, I want to say that I really appreciate you. And I think this has been something that's a long time coming. And I actually think that this is something that not only I deserved, but it's also something that I needed. And I want to talk about what the reason for that is, but I want to start off and just make sure that that's actually very clear.
You want to know something controversial that I'm going to say that everyone's going to get mad at me about? I don't think this is specifically because he got yelled at and he got banned. I do legitimately think, I mean, he's a very weird guy, okay? Asmongold is a very weird guy. I don't think he's being insincere when he says, like, I have changed my mind on this. We'll see. Only time will tell. And this doesn't mean that his mind has changed on, like, LGBTQ representation in video games or any number of different, like, right-wing things that he says on a regular basis. But on this hyper-specific note, he might actually have a different perspective. Only time will tell. Let's continue.
So a couple of days ago, I made some comments about Palestine and also about Hamas and, you know, some just general, you know, basically opinions that were trivializing the genocide that's happening there. And I don't really want to, like, mince words or, like, try to, like, oh, I wasn't justifying or, you know, promoting it. I said something about it that was disgusting. I said that I didn't care about...
He admits it's a genocide? Yeah, that's the reason why I'm saying it's like a very weird opinion that he had, that he said over and over again, while he also simultaneously does recognize what Israel is doing. It's just weird, man. It's incomprehensible. It's indecipherable.
I mean,
okay?
It is also like he went like more than overboard. You know what I mean? Like, it's like I'm sure that like the back channel stuff that he's been getting has been like really substantial. And yeah, I mean, I don't think any of this is insincere in the same way that like when you touch a hot stove, you don't insincerely scream "ow," even though you know maybe knew it was hot. You know, this is a pretty easy to see consequence coming from this.
I think he's dialed in on Reddit a little. I think this is when you Reddit too hard on main. Like, that's what it is. When you go on Reddit and you see even like liberal subreddits that you don't even agree with because they're woke and gay being like, yeah, no, actually Muslims are barbaric savages that deserve death and destruction.
Well, then listen, the Mossad guys who've been posting on Reddit all day, they earn their keep on that one.
Dude, they own Reddit.
Oh,
like,
yeah. I mean, it's
sure.
And
I'm not doing it like Jews own Reddit type shit.
No,
like, I'm saying specifically the American State Department and the Hasbara operations literally own every fucking like liberal and news adjacent, politics adjacent subreddit. They just straight up run it like a goddamn tight ass ship. Okay.
I mean, I kind of agree. Just like r/Lebanon is like half like spy agencies from the West. Like, I have to believe, because the number of people in Lebanon, or just like the people in Lebanon who post like it doesn't make sense. It's not real. Like, you would feel like Bashir Gemayel would be the rightful president of Lebanon in the imagination of the people who post on there. It's just like, yeah, that doesn't really track with the actual lived reality of that country.
Yeah, it don't matter. Look at 152.34 of your debate with Asman. He says the same thing on The Office when Michael debates Oscar about China. It's hilarious. I don't know. Anyway, let's keep going.
Innocent people getting killed by another force, by anything. And I think that that's a horrible, disgusting, mean-spirited thing to say.
The comments about you on his subreddit and his video are fucking despicable. Yeah, dog. They don't like me. What do you mean? Virtually every single person, if you're of one mind, when you see like LGBTQ representation in media and you get upset about it, okay, outflanking Asmongold in many instances, or having the same opinion that he does on a lot of these issues, you are not going to like me. Okay, what do you want me to do? Like, there's nothing I can do about it. There's a lot of people that are not exactly fond of my worldview and the things that I actually represent. Hasan says the most unhinged stuff on... What the fuck? Why is this the first comment? Bro, what? Okay, that's weird, dog. He has a fucking apology video for 20 minutes and the first comment is Hasan! Hasan with a double S says the most unhinged stuff on Twitch, but never gets banned. First of all, I have been banned.
That's good, man.
I have been banned. I've been banned more times than Asmongold. The fuck are you talking about? I got banned for saying racial slurs. Cracker was the racial slur that I said, and I got banned for it. Did you know that?
I think I did, actually. Of course I did, yeah.
So it's so funny. And when it was his birthday, the whole Twitch staff made a video congratulating him. It just shows the bias. You can't have an opinion different than them. Otherwise, you'll be banned. Yeah.
I mean, the first two comments, vile. Third comment, pretty good. Third comment was a clean the room stream would be the most viewed thing of all time.
I mean, that is true. I mean, he has done that before, I think.
And well, yeah. I don't necessarily think that it was really racist, really. But when I'm using language like Palestinians or like the people there, rather than what my real language was, I've always been very outspoken and very against religious extremism. And I still am. I think that any religion and any way of thinking that's going to cause you to put other people in like kind of positions below you as like, you know, like gay people, women, people with disabilities, anything like that, I think that that's a really bad position to have, and I really don't like that. And I think that my problem and my fault here was that I was making a criticism of religious extremism, and I made no effort. And I feel like almost, I've rewatched the clip, right? Or a number of the clips. And it's like I've almost made an effort not to draw a distinction between the two things. I think that a lot of us here can easily say that we're against religious extremism. And I am. But whenever I categorize everybody in the area as this like group, then I'm the
Bill Maher
asshole.
Comparison really is kind of apt, because like he's basically saying like I didn't do the Bill Maher exception.
Yeah,
I didn't say
I think that's what
religious
it is.
Extremists.
No, I think that is literally the problem. He reddited too hard, and I think he went Reddit on main, and people were like, "What the fuck? Like,
oh
what?
Wow,
yeah, what are you doing?"
Oh, that Reddit post looks not good.
Yeah, we'll look at that in a second. And the reality of the matter is there's like a permissible, I always talk about permissible bigotry. There's a level of permissible bigotry, especially when it comes to Muslims, especially when it comes to Arabs, that you can get away with, okay? The problem, however, is if you go beyond that, people are going to be like, ugh, even people who agree with you are going to be like, ugh, that's a bridge too far. And I think that's the mistake that he made. He like repeated Reddit stuff, and Reddit is insane about this kind of thing. And Bill Maher, on the other hand, never takes it to that degree where he doesn't like openly say these are all barbaric
Bill Maher comes
monsters.
at it from like not just like Reddit atheism, but like, you know, he's the guy who made like Religulous like 20 years ago or whatever. Like he's been beating this fucking,
he loves Israel.
He's been beating this damn drum for many years. And so he kind of has, I think, just a more refined sense from years of practice on Club Random, you know, years with the blade. He knows how to wield it.
Yeah. I think it's also, I mean, a lot of the space that those guys occupy, like the new atheists that they occupy, is basically just like giving a permission structure to liberals to also be like gross, disgusting monstrous pieces of shit about Muslims in general. It's a way to like intellectualize bigotry.
Yes,
that's what it is. There's no other way to look at it.
You were just finding like a scaffolding on which to hang your personal.
Yeah, it's like no, you don't understand. Like I'm not a neocon, but I also think that
I'm not a neocon. I just like agreed with everything David Frum said in this like despicable tweet or Atlantic article.
Yeah, exactly. It's it happens. There's like a woke way of repackaging like similar antiquated, similar stereotypes. Liberals do this for black people, black men specifically, on a regular basis. There are even like black authors that play a role in this as well, giving a permission structure for liberals to say black men are all homophobic. They got to clean out their, they got to clean their community of queer phobia and the misogyny. And it's like, usually that is done in a way to basically make liberals also fucking feel, specifically white liberals, also feel that they have the opportunity to say certain things about black men, calling them, violent or bigoted.
The Obama thing this week was especially where, Felix will probably say more about it later, but like he went off on it on Twitter correctly.
Yeah, Obongler.
Yeah, saying that like, because Obama's like, black men need to, you need to get over your misogyny. And it's like, black men are like the most reliable group of men to vote for Democratic candidates across the board.
Yeah,
like
it's funny because like the change for younger black men is still like the swing for younger black men is still marginal in comparison to like the same exact demographic with the same exact educational attainment for white men and Hispanic men as well. Like black men are the smallest group in that entire pile, and yet they're still getting this fucking hyper focus on them. And I think it's like a very weird, very strange thing to do.
Edinger Mentum had a really good point about how like Stacey Abrams was the one who really perfected that because she spent like the last 2 months of her shitty campaign talking about how like, you know, like, oh, I'm not polling great with black men. And then it turned out that, you know, on election day, she was polling like she did fine with them. And so she'd spent like all this time and energy whining about something from the fucking internet rather than, you know, doing her job.
Yeah.
And it's taken me, this is what's so crazy about it, is that I think this has been going on now for like 2 years. I think that I've been slowly devolving into the most mean-spirited, like I don't really even know what the word is for it. Just like the most mean-spirited, rude, like nasty, like just callous, psychopathic version of myself. I think that I've been devolving into this, and a lot of my
sorry, that's like the funniest thing to say with like that.
I mean,
well, no,
good
just like no, but it's so funny to say that like in that room.
I know, but it's a decent amount of self-awareness. I think
Friends
I like
told
it.
me this.
I don't disagree with the sentiment. It's just the comedy of it is like
I know
a little
my
much.
Tolerance for seeing this
it's like
is so much worse than yours.
I want to like look past it, but I kind of can't.
I'm gonna be honest with you. For me, it's like I know what like the average Twitch watcher's room looks like. I know what like other Twitch streamers' rooms look like. So for me,
he's doing representation.
When I see this, when I see a man saying these things, I'm like, oh, that's growth. Like that's legit. I don't like notice the discarded cans that are or the discarded, you know, styrofoam cups that are in the corner here because like I'm so fucking used to it.
Just eyes glaze
it's
over.
like this is the norm in this corner of the internet.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at this and thinking like I would love to see my mom. I would like to do a stream with like my mom reacting to seeing this room.
Oh God.
My dad has told me this. He said, you've got to chill out. You've got to calm down. I've been like, oh, that old man doesn't know what he's talking about. I've finally had some level.
Asmon's dad is a fan of mine, by the way.
Really?
Yeah. And apparently they like duke it out all the time on politics. So that's like an interesting dynamic.
Accountability for that.
Rock on.
And thank God, I look back.
Also, I'm sorry. This is, in this Space Ace is correct. This is exactly how Karl Marx lived. We know this because there are a couple really big spying agencies were in utter shock at the filth that he lived in.
The thing to remember is that like one, it was the 1800s.
Okay,
like pasteurization was like, you know, like a concept then, like they were still working on. And the other thing is that, you know, he was a social dude. Like he went like that was always the, you know, part of why I gave him a pass on that was that like he was having like drinking parties and carousing with other people and what have you. And so like yeah, he lived like that, but it's because he was out doing stuff, not like, you know, like he wasn't
piping, he was fucking. Yeah, him and
Jenny,
him and Engels.
Oh, him and Engels out on the town.
They were fucking each other. They were fucking and sucking, dude.
Yeah, man, it was like rounders every night.
Yeah.
At some of the things that I've said and done over the past 2 years, and I don't think that I've been wrong about everything, obviously, right? But there have been ways that I've communicated and ways that I've acted that are indefensible, and I think it's, looking back on it, it's just disgusting. And it's something that when you get lost in the sauce and you get fixated around like listening and reading feedback and, you know, just getting hyper fixated, this is like your entire life, you lose a perspective on reality and you lose a perspective on the world. And I think that perspective was brought into perspective yesterday and the day before when I was making comments like this, and I feel so stupid. It's crazy. So I'm getting all these people making negative comments toward me. Everybody is telling me like, oh, go kill yourself, I hate you, everything like this. Do you know who reached out to me? And they wanted to talk and have a conversation and see if I was okay. It's people that were Islamic and people that were fucking family in Palestine. And how humiliating is that? How absolutely humiliating is that? And these were the people I was trying to say were bad. And I feel like such a fucking stupid asshole. I really do. I've always been I guess like I've always been kind of like an atheist, and even as a young kid I was raised Roman Catholic, and I was always very defiant towards it, and I've always
when he said Islamic, he's not saying like he's trying, he means well.
Said a negative
he's
opinion
trying to be
of religion,
fucking weird,
and I've
and
also had a negative opinion of religious cultures. And I think that really, I think that opinion is definitely shaped by the media that I've created, and the media I've created for myself, and then also just the media that exists, the media that I've chose to seek out as well. And I think that media has allowed me to have certain predispositions and certain biases that the truth is that don't have any sort of relation to what my own real life has been experienced, or my own real life experience has been, excuse me. And so I've been spending a lot of time talking to those people, and I've seen people like fans of mine, like I had viewers messaging me on Discord, like, you know, why are you saying this? Like, do you want to talk? Do you want to, like, you know, I'm willing to talk to you, and like, you know, like let's try to work this out, right? We love you. And I scrolled up on their messages, and these are people that messaged me in like 2016, 2017, 2018, like, I love your content, I love your stream, I love you, right? And now they get to hear this from me. And I just feel like such a stupid, belligerent fucking asshole. I really do. And I'm sorry. I really am. I think that it's extremely fair to criticize religious extremism. And I think that it's extremely unfair to categorize everybody in part of that group as religious extremists. I think it is. And I'm really sorry for that. I've just been a fucking dick. And it's weird because yesterday I woke up and I didn't know if I was going to get suspended or not. And I had planned on streaming and everything. It's a heartfelt apology.
And, I mean, he's doing that thing where he's slicing it so that it's about the religious extremist or not. But like he talked about like fans messaging him, people who had been, streamers, people watching his stream for like 8 years ago who are now like, why would you say this? Why would you do that? Etc. And I mean, it's, like I'm like I said, I'm curious to see where he goes.
I'm not surprised by this, but I wonder if, like, for the uninitiated, they might be surprised by it. But also beyond that, I do think that there will be still a shit ton of people who will, of course, understandably say, oh, he's doing this to save face, or understandably say, oh, he's just like, he's not being sincere, or understandably say, I still don't accept it because what he said was fucking unconscionable. I've seen, like, children in plastic bags, like their destroyed bodies, their mutilated bodies being shoved into plastic bags with their parents. Like, when you see that every fucking day for the past 12 months, like, it changes your perception a little bit when you hear someone reiterate the same exact fucking indifference that people have to that kind of death and destruction, or even, dare I say, champion it. It's gonna happen no matter what. Let's continue.
Text message from one of my mods. They said, oh, I heard about the suspension, I'm sorry. And I was like, I remember I was like driving, and like, you'd think that like your heart rate would go up, but if anything, I felt more relaxed. I felt like finally I have a moment to just take a step back and breathe and think for myself and just stop, just like get out of my own head. And I spent a lot of time like just writing basically a list of all of these things that like I think that I should be doing with my life. And this is going to be kind of the second part, by the way, of the video. Comments that I made were pretty much about religious extremism. I think it's bad, but I've categorized a lot of people in that way that was unfair. It's wrong for me to have done that. I said something that was bad. I should not have said that. I should have chosen my words more carefully. I didn't do that. I doubled down on it. I shouldn't have. I'm sorry. That's pretty much, I was a fucking asshole. I was a piece of shit. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say. And so, actually, I do know what else to say. I don't like making apologies because I think words don't matter. But I do think changed actions and changed behaviors do. And so you can take my apology as hopefully better content. And if you're not seeing that, I want you to hold me accountable. Hopefully this time I won't be stupid enough to ignore it.
Is that water?
No, it's pretty dry.
So, man.
No,
anyway,
it's probably
that
not.
was like the worst. That was like, remember the Marco Rubio water? Do you remember that? He delivered the response to the State of the Union, like, this is like got to like over 10 years ago, and like in the middle of it, he's like in the middle of, he's like delivering his, like, just in the middle, like, and everybody was, because this was
my man was thirsty,
because this was like a more innocent time. That became the news cycle. That was a news cycle. That's what used to pass for a news cycle.
Yeah, it's times have changed. Let's continue.
So the second part about this is that I want to talk a little bit about like my life, my personal life, etc., and kind of some of the points that I think that I've kind of gone through to get here. So the main thing is that for the past, like, I would say like 10 years or so, if you look at my life like this, I would have said 10 years ago or maybe 8 years ago, streaming was like this, right? YouTube was like this. And now I would say that my life and streaming are basically the exact same size. And what I mean by that is that streaming is my entire life. Doing this is my entire existence. And I think that the process of that has been extremely unhealthy for me. And I
take a break. Us chuds will be here waiting for you to make streaming great again. Don't worry. I'll react to DEI equals die gaming video first day back to stream. Thank God. I hope this side of you never change. All right. I'll look at what his statement on Reddit was. Okay. But let's continue.
That what it's done is that it's allowed me to become such a one-dimensional person that
thank God he's going to keep doing the DEI stuff though. Cause I was a little worried. That's my favorite content.
He's pro DEI, right?
Yeah. He wants.
Does he do those videos about the Tomb Raider chin?
What?
You know, that's the one the new one.
Oh yeah, Tomb Raider is.
Tomb Raider
they made her mask.
Yeah.
I'm not even
anyway,
a person anymore. It's like I'm in Dark Souls, I'm going hollow or something. And I think about like all of the, you know, like I made a list of all of the things that I'm not doing in my life that I should be doing. And I was writing it down and I'm like, you know, fucking like, I'm just going and going and going. I'm like, oh my God, I think it'd be shorter if I transcribed the Bible. Like, this is insane. Like, like, whenever I have everything written down line for line, it's like, oh my God, I'm ruining my life. I've been existing and I want to, at a certain point, actually try to live my life. And I don't think that I've been doing that. And so what am I going to do? How am I going to do that differently? And what does that mean for my stream, etc.? I think that I'm going to cut down a little bit on streaming quite as much. And I think I'm also going to cut down. This is going to sound like I hope I can say this in the right way. I feel like the main times that I laugh on my stream nowadays are when I'm laughing at other people. And I look back on videos that I did from 2020, 2016, and 17, and yeah, I've always been an asshole, but holy shit, I've been way more of an asshole. It's insane. And it's a night and day difference. And I've had, again, everybody in the world telling me this, including my own dad, and I've just ignored them. And finally, it's like, you know what? Maybe I'm an asshole. Maybe this is too far. Maybe I need a course correction. Which is why I think that, like, getting suspended in this, I hope that it's one of the best things that's ever happened to me. And I don't know whether that's going to be true, but I'm going to try to do things differently.
Is it a permanent ban?
Make sure to live up to that.
No. Twitch bans people for, sometimes they permanently ban people, but,
I know, but
usually,
I know that's very
it's
unusual.
for 14 days. It's for 14 days.
Like an enforced break.
Yeah.
Reality. And so, what are those things that I'm going to be doing differently? The first thing is that I think I'm going to try. I've been very much trying to like maintain a consistent schedule with my stream, and I will continue to do that. I want to get up and go to bed at relatively the same time. I want to live a normal life, and also I want to spend maybe a little bit less time streaming, and I want to spend more time creating my own videos and doing my own things and spending time on things that I really enjoy, and basically just like expanding my existence as a person. I think that ever since I started like OTK and I got involved with that, and then we had like other Starforge and like Mad Mushroom and Mythic and everything, like honestly it's been too much for me to handle. It's been completely too much for me to handle, and I've been losing my mind dealing with it, and I try to hide it the best I can because, you know, I try to do the best, right? I try to do my best. You know, it doesn't matter how hard it gets, you just keep going, it doesn't matter. And eventually it does matter. And I think that I've negatively affected a lot of them. And I also don't want to talk about that just in the context of just like this recent controversy. I want to talk about this in the context of the last 2 years. I think that I haven't really been able to fulfill my responsibilities as a leader in a lot of cases to them. And I think that I've let a lot of people down. And
Muslim revert arc incoming. Yeah, he's gonna say the Shahada.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah, he's gonna do he's going to the Hajj, dude. He's going to visit the Kaaba, and he's reverting to Islam. Okay, brother Asmon, he will see Jannah.
there have been things that I've done that are positive as well, but I think that one thing this thing has taught me is
from Asmongold to Asmongold. Yeah.
This whole situation has taught me, it's made me realize, is that I need to get myself in check. I need to get my mind under control. I need to just get my life I need to fix my fucking life.
He says this on his Reddit
it's insane.
post too.
I think about it and it's just
talks
it's
about
in
living with his mom and all that shit.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you right now, I called this. I did. It's just you dove into waters that are treacherous, and it got too hot. That's just how it is.
Everything about my life is basically fucked. And I'm going to take a step back from all of that. I'm going to step away from my leadership position and OTK and Starforge and everything. I want to, and they're fine with that. They respect that, and I want to do this. And I want to do this not only for them, but mainly for myself, so I can be a better version of myself for everyone.
He really has two paths.
I want to apologize
Convert
to all you guys,
Islam,
my
or
viewers,
the Jordan Peterson thing.
That I don't think I've lived up to that. I think that I can be a lot better than what I am right now. And I don't even think that I've been putting in half the effort that I should be in the way that I should be. And I'm sorry. And so my plan is to, when I get unbanned, I'll keep streaming regularly, right? And I want to focus more on trying to do things that are fun, trying to laugh more with people rather than at people.
Because
I'll still laugh at people every once in a while, okay? Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. But it's about a focus, and it's about it's about a tone. I listened to my tone in the clip, and I just sound like such a piece of shit. Really, at the end of the day, I sound like a piece of shit. I sound like a terrible person. And it's just so mean-spirited and callous and just mean. And I don't want to be that person anymore. And I've spent a long time growing up, the time I did, I was an r/atheism enjoyer. I have a very negative opinion of a lot of religions. I've had the experience firsthand of the negative effects of Christianity and, the way that I view that. And I've always read a lot of very bad things about Islam. And I've made a lot of criticisms.
I've read a lot of very bad things about Islam.
I've talked to a lot of people about it. I've heard a lot about it. And I've been watching things about it, and I've been hearing people telling me this is the way it is, but I've never seen it. And I actually think that after all this, I think towards the end of next year, I'd like to visit one.
I'm happy to call that shot.
Wait, he is.
Middle East and see it for myself.
He's gonna. I want to. Bro, he's reverting, dude. Shia Islam though. Okay, I'm Sunni.
Yeah, no.
As a Sunni, I'm saying this. Okay,
you gotta buck the winning team, dog. Go Shia.
You gotta go Shia. Okay, you gotta go Shia Islam. Yeah. It's just that's the way. That's the method.
From a historical perspective, right? I would love to go to Istanbul in Turkey.
Oh, he's getting a hair transplant. Inshallah, brother.
Oh man, he's gonna be. Dude, when I went to Istanbul, I love going. Istanbul's my favorite place. When I went there last time,
I can't go, but but hey, listen, I tell everybody if you definitely go visit.
Well,
it's
no,
awesome.
I'm already visualizing it with the hair, with the tricks to re-stimulate those follicles.
He's doing Turkish. He's gonna go Turkish hairlines.
Oh, he's gonna go to hammam. He's gonna get the whole thing.
Oh my god. Osmongold.
Asmongold, Lion of WoW.
No ulterior motive there at all. But
he's held his head. He's doing it.
I'd love to visit places like Saudi Arabia, Dubai, any of the other places. I mean, the truth is that, and this is the worst thing about what I said. Some of the places.
Yeah, bro's gonna go to Saudi Arabia and be like, I was right, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything I said about Islam.
He goes to Dubai and he sees 50 million slaves imported from Southeast Asia.
They have slavery. What is happening? Oh,
Oh,
you know,
boy.
there's other places you can go to, man.
Yeah, there's, go to Cairo maybe. I mean, also
Yeah.
not such a happy place, but like lots of Muslim people who live there who are not, Wahhabist.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God, he's gonna revert to Islam, and then he's gonna have to wash himself 5 times a day, dude. This is literally It's the perfect
the room
religion.
is gonna go very simple. He's gonna have like
It's the perfect religion
it's
for
such
him.
a good arc for him.
It's the perfect religion for him.
I'm with this.
Osman
That I would want to visit, I might not be able to because of the way that they're like just the internal strife, the actual literal wars that are going on, people being literally killed there, and I might not be able to do that. But I want to do it, and I want to see it for myself.
If Michael Rappaport
Because
can make it to Israel,
I don't
you can
like
definitely
believing
go to
what
the Middle
people
East.
Tell me, and I think that when
I mean, Michael Rappaport can make it to Israel. He can go to the Middle East. He just can't go to certain parts of the
can't
Middle.
go to any other country.
Yeah. Like I would love to go visit the West Bank, or I would love to one day be able to go to Gaza. I just don't think that I will be able to do that anytime soon, nor will I be able to go there. And let's just say I saw what happened to another Turkish American that did go to the West Bank, and then I saw how America handled that situation after she got assassinated. Kind of puts into perspective what that looks like when so many Zionists were coming in here and be like, come to Israel, you will see.
I mean, it's crazy because like the best protection that you can have in like visiting the West Bank is to be like me and be Jewish. And so, like it's true. Like it is not as like easy or especially these days necessarily as safe a thing. No, it's bad.
I was talking about Aisha Nur Ezgi.
when I do, I end up being a fool, and I want to see it. I want to see it for myself, and I want to experience it, and I want to live my life. And I'm going to try to clean up part of my house. I'm going to try to do this, and I'm not going to hire a cleaner. As I said, I was raised Roman Catholic. I view this as a penance, and I think I need to do this for myself. I need to take accountability for bad things that
He's
I've
Catholic.
done,
They also have
and
indulgences.
for
so we
letting
can-
my life get this out of control. And
I don't
I
know
don't
enough
need to
about
get out of jail free
Catholicism.
card.
Meaning more just
So I need
I'm
to
curious.
do that for myself.
I mean, if I'm one of his fans
for my
who
own
watches
closure
this,
as well.
and I'm not somebody who's like bought in on all the atheism stuff, but I was there because I wanted to see him do Blackwing Lair or whatever in WoW.
Mm-hmm.
Like granted, I'm fundamentally very skeptical of people, changing their stripes and stuff in this way. It's a hard public thing, and the people who do it successfully are usually like they're not initially very public about it. It's a thing that they become public about after they've done work in a private capacity or whatever, learning or whatever.
But it doesn't even matter. Even if you do the work privately behind closed doors, and then the moment that you come out openly, people still, there's going to be plenty of people who who will never look at you the same. They will be like, no, I remember all the shit that you said. Fuck you. And there's going to be a shit ton more people in your fan base that are going to be like, fuck you. You went woke. They transed you. They made you trans. They made you gender. You just gotta push through it. Because I do think that genuinely, when you are honest with yourself and when you actually go through this change, internally, and you have this moral compass that you follow, you will literally be a happier person. You will be a liberated person. You will feel more free.
And that's what he's describing. To be fair, like that is what he's describing here. To his, like I think that like what he is saying aspirationally is the thing that like, yeah, this was a wake up call. I should focus and do on other stuff and focus on learning and what have you, as opposed to being like a guy who, like yammers without thinking necessarily.
Yeah.
And I think also I want to live for the the idiots out there that they're like looking to me to be a role model, right? Oh, not a good idea. But there are people that will see that and they'll think maybe to themselves, maybe I should do the same thing. And if I can do that for one person, well, I've already done it for myself. I've already done a good thing, and so it could only get better. And so that's what my plan is.
Yeah, this is also a decent take from Juniper. This is unironically a major part of how right-wingers have been able to maintain social media control for a decade now. They encourage you to be a worse person by embracing genuinely evil traits about yourself and then reward you monetarily if you do so. Never apologize to the mob. It's like, dude, apologizing is not a bad thing, okay? It's not a bad thing at all. Growth is a good thing. I think that a lot of people don't recognize that, and a lot of people on the left don't recognize that either, and I am not one of those people. We'll see. Like I said, time will tell. I'm not like, I totally understand it. People aren't like immediately rushing to forgive Asmongold for his statements or for all the things that he's said in the past. That's not what I'm trying to tell you. I'm simply stating that my suspicion, at least on this issue, is that he probably will definitely have a most likely a real change of heart. Having said that, however, I'm sure that the DEI stuff will continue, because I don't think a lot of people.
The DEI's die will continue until morale
I don't think
improves.
I don't think that people understand that like that is the vector of radicalization that sparks your journey. That is the start of this kind of stuff.
It is like,
because that's why I always try to say. Sorry to cut you off. That's why I always try to tell you, like, kill the reactionary part of your brain. An example I can give you is Jank. An example I can give you is Anna Kasparian. Like, when you find yourself susceptible to right-wing framing on certain issues without thinking clearly through them, it's almost like a muscle. You're training yourself into subscribing to certain ideals or certain ideas or certain talking points without engaging in critical thinking. And it can be one vector of radicalization. It can be one thing, right? And that slowly but surely starts changing the way that you view everything. It slowly but surely starts helping you come to conclusions on every other issue. It might start with like the crime panic. It might start with you maybe having a traumatic experience with like a homeless person or something. Like with Jank, he saw like a homeless person and then he was like, that's it, I'm done, right? And then he started being like, no, we got to do something about this crime stuff. And then all of a sudden, even if you are a very progressive person, even if you've been a champion of progressive values for 15 fucking plus years, 20 years at this point, you find yourself saying things like, Gavin Newsom is releasing 75,000 prisoners in the state of California, when that is obviously not the fucking reality, without like examining that statement whatsoever.
I'm going to try to like rethink my life. I have had a lot of people reach out to me.
I'm going to show
people I would have never expected reach out to me in ways that I never expected. And I understand that, you know, like I'm still very critical about, you know, religious fundamentalism, right? But when you paint with such a broad brush that you just include an entire group of people, you're just being you're being a piece of shit. It's like people said it was racist. I didn't mean it as racist, but if you listen to what I said, it's easy that you could assume that. So easy. And so I'm just a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking moron. I've been an asshole. I think that I've devolved for the last 2 years. I think that I've negatively affected other people too, in ways that I hate. I don't even hate to say this. Like I think I need to say this. I need to say it more. I've negatively affected people in ways that I regret. I think whenever I go back live again, I'll probably talk about that more. And you know, like there's some just different people I'd kind of want to apologize to, and you know, take accountability for things that I've said and done that have negatively affected other people in ways that were unfair and wrong. That's what my plan is. That's about it. I want to say that I hope that now, after you've heard what I have to say, that a lot of you all can see kind of why I'm saying that I appreciate this. I really think that this is something I needed, and I hope that this is the next part of the rest of my life. And I want you guys to hold me accountable to that. So if I'm being a fucking asshole again, if I'm being mean, if I'm just being callous, acting like a psychopath, just treating people awfully outside of a WoW raid when they get killed by fire, but really laughing at people's misfortune, try to say, man, just chill the fuck out, stop it. Just stop. And I'm gonna do my best to listen. I spent 2 years ignoring it, and look where it got me. This is not even the tip of the iceberg of the problems in my life. And I want to thank everybody for making me aware that that's the case. And hopefully I can avoid the iceberg, right? And so I want to say that's pretty much about all I've got. I'm sorry for a lot of people I let down, not just with comments like this, but also just with the way I've been doing things in general. I think that you guys deserve a much better version of me than what you've been getting. And I hope that I can live up to that in the future. And I don't even want to think about it in the future, right? As soon as I get unbanned, the best apology is better content, change behavior. And that's what I hope to do. So yeah, anyway guys, I'm just going to focus on myself for a while, try to improve my own life.
Someone called you Felix.
That's
Anti-Semitism.
anti-Semitic.
Anti-Semitism is alive and well.
Get me ADL. I want Jonathan Greenblatt in here right now.
I think, who do you think Jonathan Greenblatt hates more? Anti-Zionist Jews such as yourself or anti-Zionist Muslims such as myself?
It's a hard question, man, because it's...
Like, who would he has one bullet in the gun. Who does he kill?
The Jew.
Probably, right?
Yeah, no,
I feel like
because you hate the thing that more resembles you. You know, that is to
I think
me,
yeah, he's definitely killing you first.
yeah,
for
no,
sure.
I'm dead. I'm
Yeah.
done. I'm cooked.
Yeah, he's gonna try to line us back to back with one another and try to hit both of us.
He'll do the thing from what's that movie Wanted, where they curl
Yeah,
the
they
bullet.
curve the bullet.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was a much more solid. This was a much more solid video than I expected it to be.
I agree, and I think it's because he didn't waste time trying to talk about like the particulars of anything he said, or even like, you know, what I meant to say. I mean, he said he tried to slice that religious extremism thing versus whatever about, but like it was also clear that like whatever this amount, like this volume that he got from these remarks. I mean, yeah, he's very explicitly saying like, my life is fucked. I got to fix it, you know. And to me, it's like that's. Generally speaking, when anybody in an earnest, like if they're clearly speaking from the heart on that kind of thing, even, you know, no matter what kind of person they are, it is like somewhat moving because it's like, yeah, it's like somebody conceding that they're at some kind of a bottom. You know?